All right, hey everybody, back with another news feed here for you. Kicking this one off, Ford ranked below average in 2024 U.S. Tech Experience Study. We talked about these experience study from J.D. Power, this Tech Experience Index study that they did. Sorry if I got any crap on my head. I just got done weed whacking out there and cleaning the yard up, and I'm feeling weird fuzzies on me. But anyway, this organization looked at all this stuff. Here's the rankings of it right here on the J.D. Power stuff. You can see Ford came in down here right near the bottom, only beat by Dodge. And this is the whole point of this, that I'm not even going to read the article. Okay, you can see it right here, and you can look at the study for you if you want to see it here and understand what's going on and how they rank. But there is a undeniable understanding thing here that we got to get at, and that is this is a tech study. Okay, remember right here, see it says Tech Experience Study. If you are looking for a vehicle with tech, don't buy an American vehicle, okay? We don't buy American-made computers. We don't buy American-made software. We don't buy... This stuff is all done by geniuses overseas that know way more stuff than this than what we do, okay? We in America are hard, raw, get her done kind of people that like brute force in big trucks and things like that, and I get that. But if you are into tech, you don't buy from American truck companies for tech. You look at the other ones on here, like look at Hyundai and Kia. Okay, two companies many people don't think about. You got Lexus in here too, but yeah, Toyota way down here. They're the same freaking company. That's just greed and attitude and nose in the air of Lexus owners thinking that their Lexus is better than most people's Toyota. They're just walking around like, I own a Lexus. Okay, it's that kind of crap. But realistically, look at Hyundai and Kia. Two companies that a few years ago were bottom of the barrel, okay, in a lot of ways, and struggling severely, but the tech has rose them to the top. So when you want tech, look at the tech type vehicles and the companies that are capable of producing tech, not the companies that are designed for producing raw power. Look at Nissan. Look at where Nissan lies on here. Why? I mean, Nissan builds simple, functional vehicles to get their job done. Looking at the truck aspect, Ford trucks built tough, ready to go. Ram quality trucks. Jeep, you got Chevy, you got all this stuff in here. They're not luxury brands. They're not techie kind of brands. So just keep that in mind. These studies crack me up on this stuff, but my tech experience survey would be, if this is a ranking out of 1,000, and any vehicle I own would be like a 4. It'd be like a 004, because I can't stand technology stuff. You can see down here, look at Tesla. Look at where Tesla is. 786 out of the score for Tesla. Look at Rivian, 600. They're topping the charts. Polestar, take over. Why? Because they're tech companies. This is a tech study. You want tech in a car, buy a car that's from a tech company. If you want a truck or a car that's going to be a car, buy one that's an actual car. I don't understand the concept here, but there it is for you. Moving on from there. Used car prices are falling, especially among EVs. Okay, Consumers Reports, a few days ago, they came out with this here. Prices have dropped 10% over the last years, although high interest rates remain a challenge for buyers who finance. We have that coming up in a minute. That was a thumbnail you see on here. Prices are going to be changing for interest rates. But this one's got some interesting stuff in here, and you guys know I hate Consumers Reports. Okay, they're a joke in every kind of level. But my opinion here, or some of the stuff in here is good, interesting facts. As of August 1st, the average price of a new used car was $25,415, according to Cox. I thought that's pretty crazy. That's the cost of an average used car. Now down here, we're going to see the cost of a new car. The average price of a new car is $47,000, $22,000 more for new over what people are buying used. That's pretty interesting stuff in here. If you have to borrow money to buy a car, keep in mind that the older cars, as we've talked about many times on here when I try to tell you how to buy things right, the more interest a lender will charge. Okay, if you can get 7% or 6% on a new car right now, and you go to buy a used one, you're going to be at 9 or 10 or 11% for a used one. Even if let's take, for example, say you're going to go buy a Colorado. You're going to buy a 2024 Colorado, and you can get it. It's going to be, let's say that it's, you get it for $35,000. Get a good deal on $35,000 for that Colorado, and you're going to pay 6% on it. Okay, fantastic deal. But you look at one and you go, well, I can buy a used 2023 with 20,000 miles on it, and I get it for $31,000 and save myself $4,000. But you're going to now pay 8 or 9% interest on it. Okay, so you're losing. It's actually the worst deal. Or even a 2022, it's the worst deal to get used over new in a lot of cases because of the way they do these. They play these stupid games with the interest rates for used cars versus new cars. Okay, looking at older models, used car prices have dropped 10% on average over the last year, but pricing on older cars have seen a sharper decline. Okay, fantastic. We like that. That's good. Lower prices means better options for us that we want to buy. Prices on 4 to 7-year-old cars have gone down 19%, and 8 to 13-year-olds are down 18%. So realistically, there's a very little difference. But basically, anything from a 4-year-old to a 13-year-old car is down 18 to 19% of what it was a year ago. That is a beautiful thing, and the rates are about to get better. However, they might not be getting better right now for you, but we got good news coming up on that. But so a pretty interesting article here to look at this and to read it and to give you some stats. Like I said, I do not like Consumers Reports by any means, but there is some interesting info in here. They're saying interest rates are still high, with the average used car rate nearly 12% at the end of March 2024. 12%. Okay, it is insane what these rates are going for people and what we're dealing with. And they're giving you some more info in here. We're not going to hang on it for too long, so we want to get to the main one. It says right here, do not borrow too much. Put as much money into the down payment as you can afford. This is good advice in any economical climate. Maximizing your down payment will reduce the amount you have to pay interest on and the rest and minimize the chance that you'll be left hanging as your car ages. Value sinks over the years, particularly with used car prices still relatively high. Okay, key sentence right here. Used car prices still relatively high. Yet on the same note, we are down 19 to 18% over what they were a year ago. So call it 20% down, but they are still relatively high. Okay, so that's very important to understand that and let that sink in. So, there's a way to do it the right way, and but we're heading in the right direction. It's still high, but we're heading in the right direction. So, and they're going to give you some more examples on here to understand the interest rates and things like that. It's a great article if you want to read it. I put the info right here for you. Just go to Consumers Reports and then type in used car prices are falling. This article will pop right up for you. And one more before we get to the big one. Why did Dodge spin off the Ram truck brand? Okay, we don't actually know the answer for it, but they give some interesting things here. In 2009, Dodge and Ram separated, and it became basically Ram. Sometimes business jargons can be obtuse. Many have wondered what the real cause of the division was with Chrysler. The split was certainly affected by seismic shift in upper management. Also, a fresh market campaign could likely help reinvent the financially strapped brand, grabbing headlines. However, there are also a few completely different theories floating around the automotive community that involve global branding plans and the CAFE standards. Okay, that's that fuel economy BS that we have to deal with because of the stupid government. But it was pretty interesting to read in here. You're welcome to read through it if you want to on here. See, with brands so vital to sales, the marketing team had come up with something drastic to change course. The new pitch was designed and distinguish Ram with all capital letters and showcase hardworking Americans in variety of challenging jobs. A brand split would also garner more attention with consumers as they were widely covered by news outlets, which in the world of PR is referred to as earned media. According to the Forbes, the biggest benefit of earned media is often considered free advertising. Okay, there's a lot of interesting stuff in this article. Pretty good. Again, we're already 9 minutes in, and I haven't got to the main one, so we're not going to stay on here, but you're welcome to dive in and read this. It's pretty interesting, and it's right here. Just pause if you want to catch up on any of it. But I found it interesting what some of their theories and takes are and how this all led, but Ram is, why Ram became its own brand. Now, this one right here, Feds are about to cut rates, okay? The Fed is set to cut rates, but what does it mean for car loans? Okay, in a nutshell, they are talking about they are going to dive into this stuff. They're going to roll out its first rate cut in years on September 18th, but how will that help to move metal in Detroit? Okay, Detroit being the auto industry capital. The Fed's fight against inflation, which involves rising short-term rates 11 times in nearly 8 months, contributed to a head-on collision for borrowers. Car buyers not only face skyrocketing prices for both new and used, but those who took car loans also got stuck paying significantly higher interest rates. Car sales, though, kept moving on. Many had worried back in 2022 when the Feds began rising interest rates that auto sales would tank, but vehicle sales held up despite higher auto loan rates, economists say, thanks to a pent-up demand for cars and trucks that developed during the pandemic when new supply was extremely limited. Every borrower, including car buyers, could only break now from the extraordinary high interest rates. Could use a break. 3 years ago, the average payment on a new car was $597, and a month on loans taken out in the second quarter of 2020, the average financing was $36,000 for those loans. Going back 4 years ago, it was $576, so $20 cheaper, and it was basically $30 cheaper. The average payment, though, has jumped to $740 a month for new vehicles in the second quarter of 2024. Okay, that's almost a $200 jump here from 4 years ago. $200 jump from 4 years ago. That's pretty crazy how high it's got. But here's the kicker part. Here's where it's going to hit. So this is why I wanted to put this in here so that you can make your decision on what you want to do with your purchases coming up. Not as soon as one might hope, unfortunately. Okay, it says car loan rates could remain high longer than expected, in part because lenders are trying to protect their bottom line as some struggling consumers fall behind making their car payments. I don't give two turds about lenders trying to protect their bottom line. I don't care about lenders at all. They're as big as scams as dealers are. I don't care about them at all. And the Fed isn't going to be gunning when it comes to cutting the federal funds rate. It could be a slower rollout than many consumers would like to see. We're talking about a series of what maybe could be gradual rate cuts from now through next year, likely into 2026. By the end of 2026, the short-term federal fund rate may be down as much as 2% to 2.5 percentage points after the Fed rate cuts. Well, that sucks. Okay, we're only getting they're saying by 2026, the most we'll hope for is 2 to 2.5% less than it is now. So yeah, they're going down. Woohoo! Okay, there's politicians jumping up and down. We cut rates. We brought down your interest. You do crap. 2.5% when we're dealing with 12% average for a used car loan and 9% average for a new car loan, and you're going to drop it 2%. You're all over the next 2 years, and you're excited about that. It's disgusting, is what it is. It's simply disgusting. All these politicians should be just slapped right in the head, just straight up slapped in the head. Just disgusting. Don't bet much on 0% offers. A 0% car rate or a 2.9 promotion on a new pre-owned vehicle isn't going to be the norm here. We do see that occasionally, but you see, that's tricky too. Okay, people are like, oh my God, look at this, the Nissan Frontier, I can get 0% financing for 60 months. Yes, you can, but then, when you go in to buy that car, you got to finance it through Nissan, and you're not going to be able to work the deals quite as good as some other times. And a lot of times, these 0% ones, they're going to fight you tooth and nail on the discount. So if you got a choice of taking a Frontier for $3,000 under MSRP with 0% versus taking a Frontier at 7% but getting it for $10,000 off, do the math. Okay, you got to do the math and see what's going to be the best for you. So always weigh every single option. Don't be caught up. Don't get swayed by the 0%. 0% is good. But usually in this economy we're in now, the only ones offering 0% are straight manufacturer financing. Straight manufacturer financing also sets the parameters of the vehicle purchase. They're not going to let you deal. They're not going to let the dealer deal as much. It's just not going to quite work that way. Sometimes it does, but a lot of time the dealership is going to use that against you and fight it. No, you're getting 0%. If you want to get that much off, we can't do the 0%. Okay, well then I want it for this much because this is how much I can get it 5 miles down the road. So I can go there and I can get it for this and pay 7%. So if you'll give it to me for 23% off and 7%, I'll take it. Okay, so you got to do the math and weigh the options for you. So interesting article here. Car loans don't track the Fed's rate cuts exactly. They go on to talk about here, car loan rates went up to 7.82 from 3.86 in a few years. This is new car loan rates, okay? How ridiculous is this, okay, what they've done and what they've played the games? And someone with a credit score in the range of 3 to 500 is paying as much as 21.57%. Don't even bother buying a car. Get a bicycle or a moped or something like that, or call your friend or get an Uber. Don't even bother trying if you're at 21% on a car. It will be a nightmare. The average rate for a new car buyer with deep subprime credit was 15.6%. Okay, that's insane. The average price or average drops to 5.38% for someone with exceptional credit in a super prime range of 781 to 850. Okay, I didn't get in the first quarter of 2024. Well, at the end of 2023, I didn't get that. I'm paying exactly 5.99% on my Gladiator that I got, and I'm like 830 something is my credit score. So we see that the rates are coming down. They're getting better, but they're not anywhere near it. See, over the last year, about 9.1% of credit card balances. So anyway, here we go. So expect a drop over the next year and a half, but it's a measly, minimal, petty, disgusting joke of a drop in interest rates. They're here to stay. Put your comments down below. Let me know. Thanks for watching.